Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to OVC Football on ESPN+. I'm Howard Gentry Jr. along with Derek Fleming, and we're bringing it to you live right here at Tennessee State University. A beautiful, nippy day out here, and it's going to be a great ball game. Tennessee State University, 2-7 on the season, and, of course, Eastern Illinois hasn't won a game this year. But I'm going to tell you, when these two teams get together, it's a ball game. In the last 4 times that they've met, it's been less than a touchdown between the two. Last year, Tennessee State, in a comeback victory, beat Eastern Illinois by a score of 41-40, and I don't expect anything less than that here today.
Yes, Howard, that's how this series has been. It's been a knockout, drag-out type of series where both teams scoring a lot of points. But this year, the teams are a little flip roles. You know, usually Eastern Illinois has the powerful offense. This year it's their defense. And this year the Tigers has a powerful offense and the defense has struggled. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Panthers from Eastern Illinois can stop the pass game for the Tigers, which last week they only gave up 14 total pass yards against Eastern Kentucky in a loss. But we know the Tigers like to throw the football, led by their 2 seniors, Stephen Newbold and Chris Rowland.
Well, you know, you talk about Tennessee State University, and you know that they have firepower. They can do it on the ground, do it in the air, even though the run game last week didn't really get off like Coach Reed would have liked it. But the Tigers can move the ball through the air. But when you look at Eastern Illinois, you look at a team that has 2 cornerbacks that are outstanding. You have a team that is leading the conference in tackles behind the line of scrimmage. And so they have big play guys at very important points on the field on the defensive side. And Tennessee State University is going to have to be careful, as Eastern Illinois also is known for picking it off and recovering a lot of fumbles.
Yeah, well, the whole scope of the Panthers season has been, 3 or 4 plays here and there, and should have won 4 or 5 football games this year. They've been competitive all year. It just hadn't had any breaks go their way. So the first-year coach, Adam Cushing, who's first year from Northwestern, is really trying to change the culture at East Illinois and its rich history of Panther football. And this is a very dangerous game for the Tigers because the Panthers has always had the right elixir, you must say, for the Tigers.
Well, last week TSU lost 32-13 right here, and 2 weeks ago against last week against Southeast Missouri State. And the fact is, they never got going. Yeah,
well, the Tigers could never get anything going on the ground, which slowed down and hampered the Tigers' vaunted offense. But nevertheless, the defense kept the Tigers in the game. It's going to be interesting to see with offensive coordinator Shannon Harris going up, calling plays from the top, and see if he can get the Tigers rolling today.
All right, he's back at the top. And fans, it's about kickoff time, and we'll be back after this message. You're listening to OVC Football on ESPN+.
Booking accommodations.
These gold laces were made for Princess Lacey.
And have been in the majority of the games that they have played. Tennessee State with only 2 victories on the season. And, of course, the Tigers are hungry for another one. And in the hole, Tennessee State is usually pretty lethal, but the Tigers are yet to win one in the hole this year.
Yeah, for the Panthers, I think both teams are taking 1 week at a time, so each team is just trying to go 1-0 today. Would be a huge victory for either one.
All right, there's the kickoff, and, of course, kicking it away from Rowland, who amassed almost 100 yards in returns last week, and over 200 yards in total offense. So Rowland's going to be a big factor. Now, they're not going to be able to kick it away from him on offense because that's up to the quarterback. But I doubt very seriously that Eastern Illinois is going to allow Rowland to touch the ball at all in the punting and kicking game. Rosendahl, the quarterback for the Big Blue. Robertson in the backfield. Wideouts to either side. Low snap. Robertson on the carry and a pickup of a couple yards. And The Panthers playing it tough in the middle. On the stop for the Panthers, number 96, Terrell Greer. He's only 5'10", but 305 pounds. First pass of the game, and it looks like it's going to be a first down on the reception for the Tigers. Phillip Brown.
Yeah, what you're seeing now is the Tigers trying to get into tempo. First play, inside zone run to Kedrick Roberson, and then play action off the same play, first down Tigers.
First and 10 for the Big Blue. Flag on the play.
Yeah, look like that is a snap infraction on the center. Looks like that's a new center for the Tigers, number 50, and that's Demetrius Cooley. Usually you see the senior Thomas Burton, who's bumped down into the left guard position for today's match.
All right, it's going to be a first and 15 for the Big Blue. Roberson on the carry and knocked down hard, finishing off the play to Terrence Johnson, and he's a leading tackler for this ball club, and another big hit by Johnson. He's 6'1", but 270 pounds. A lot of action there. He's leading the conference in tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Rosendahl on the carry and almost gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a broken play. They wanted to do a quick screen out to Roland. That play was covered up pretty quick by the Panthers. You can tell they were waiting for that play, so Rosendahl just tucked it and tried to get positive yards.
Big third down play for the Tigers. Rosendahl looking to the sideline. Got a lot of time on the clock. Now it's just ticked down under 10. Rush is coming, and it's complete. And that's Newbold, and still on his feet as Newbold's finally brought out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Big pickup for the Tigers.
Yeah, that time the Tigers caught the Panthers in man-to-man defense, and that was crossing patterns from all three receivers. And Stephen Newbold came clean, coming from left to right with the first down catch. That's a big play for the Tigers.
28 yards. On the carry for the Tigers, Sean McCauley. Good to see him back in action last few ball games. On the stop, Joe Caputo, one of the leading tacklers also. They've got a tough linebacking crew.
Yeah, their linebacker crew is the meat and potatoes of their defense.
McCauley again after a 5-yard pickup and picks up 3.
Yeah, what you're seeing now is what the Tigers talked about all week is tempo and keeping the Panthers from substituting and trying to run inside between the tackles. The Tigers felt they might have an advantage there. So you're coming out with their game plan and executing pretty well.
All right, it's a 3rd and 3. We'll give them little, maybe 2.5. Again, Rosenthal taking his time. And there's the keeper with Newbold, and it's going to be close. According to what that mark's going to be, I think he got across the 20. If he did, it's a first, and it is.
Yeah, once again, offensive coordinator Shannon Harris bringing wrinkles with a tight formation, with a jet motion, giving it to the senior Stephen Newbold for the 3-yard carry and first down.
Caputo on the tackle, 1st and 10, Tigers. Wow, Roberson on the spin and crosses the 15 down to around the 12-yard line. A nifty run by Roberson.
Yeah, what the Tigers are doing with tempo, once again, trying to hold the EIU defense on the field, and they're back and ready to snap the football.
Roberson again. Good stop for the Panthers. On the stop for the Panthers, number 52, Jason Johnson. Pass out to Roberson, and to his defense, Number 33 made a jump on that ball, Austin Johnson, and probably got his eyes off of it.
Yeah, that's just a drop pass.
Okay.
That was a good job, Howard,
Hey, you know what?
figuring it out. That's what we call in football a drop football pass. And the Tigers look like they're going to go on senior day.
It does.
Because they have an automatic kicker in Zeta.
Yes, they do.
And they are back on the line of scrimmage.
And there's a carry and a first down for the Big Blue. DeMarco Corbin on the jaunt and just got tripped up. You know, Derek Fleming, for you all, is a former receiver for Tennessee State, so he just calls it like it is. It was a drop. And it's touchdown, Big Blue, as Corbin goes in untouched with 10:07 remaining in the first quarter. Tigers with a clean offensive series here on the first series of the game.
Well, if you're Coach Rod Reed, you got to be very excited about how the offense came out on the first drive. They really worked on how they were so slow last week and couldn't get the running game up and running, but they got it and got it started from the beginning. And that is an impressive drive by the TSU's offense.
All right, Zeta, nobody was out there to hold. There are only 5 seconds remaining. I hope they're going to take a timeout, or they're just going to take a penalty.
Yeah, just take a penalty.
Okay,
because,
back it up a little bit.
Yeah, Zeta is good inside of the 30, pretty much automatic, only missing 3 kicks the whole year. So I think he can kick it, would that be, a 22-yarder now?
Yeah, well, Roland, I don't know whether he couldn't find the, what do they call it, a spot? I don't know. But Roland was not on the field, and Zeta was asking, but, hey, they're in the middle of the field, and here we go. Oh, kick is up and no good. And so that was just that was doomed from the beginning.
Yeah, well.
All right, fans, with the score, Tennessee State University 6, Eastern Illinois nothing. You're listening to OVC Football on ESPN+.
Control your goals right in the Chase mobile app. Chase, make more of what's yours.
As the Tennessee State University Tigers scored with 10:07 remaining in the first quarter, and they received the kickoff and took that ball down the field to about 75 yards and ended up with a score by Corbin, and now the Big Blue will be kicking it off.
Yeah, that was very impressive by the Tigers coming out of a disappointing week last week with the run game and just kind of jammed it down Eastern Illinois' throat for that first drive. So let's see what the Panthers have, because I know they want to run the football as well.
Caleb Mosley with the kickoff. Grant Edwards catching the fair catching the ball. And so they will take it first down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Eastern Illinois has not won a ball game, but they have weapons. And right now we're going to see if those weapons can come to life. Harry Woodbury, the quarterback, he can throw it. Woodbury passing, it's dropped. It was intended for Dalen Hughes. Hughes is listed as a defensive back, but he's a freshman, 5'11", 170 pounds, and they've got him on the offensive side of the ball. 2nd and 10.
Well, that lets me think he has a lot of speed, Howard.
Yep.
I mean, you have to watch that. DB on the offense side of the ball in the first play.
Handoff, and he's got some room as he's crossed the 40, close to the 50-yard line on the carry. That's Deshaun McCullough. And, buddy, he saw a hole and took it.
Yeah, that's that dart play that really gave the Tigers trouble last week with Southeast Missouri. It looked like an inside zone, but everything flows one way. The back cuts back to the weak side and nobody was there. That's a big game for the Panthers.
Another completion.
Yeah,
and again, that's the
DB.
Dalen Hughes. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's listed as a DB from Milford, Ohio. So that's interesting to see if he's on the offensive side of the ball. Sometime we may have some inaccurate information. Either way, he's getting targeted.
All right, pickup of 6 on the play. 2nd and 4. That's Jalen Benefield on the carry. And if we look at the offense, we'll give that offensive line up in just a minute. Well, they're taking their time, but we're going to follow them here. It's going to be a pickup of 2 on that play, 3rd and 2. Woodbury, quarterback. Wideouts to the right. He's going to keep it, and he's going to get snuffed. On the tackle for the Big Blue, Terry Straughter, 2nd leading tackler on the team.
Yeah, Straughter's playing the middle backer position for the Tigers this week after their vaunted freshman or sophomore, Jayshon Bryant, went down last week with an injury. So that's a big play from the sophomore out of Miami, Florida. 4th down, and the Panthers' offense is still on the field.
Loss of 1. 4th and 3. And this snap to the halfback, and it worked, and it looks like he's got touchdown, Eastern Illinois. A 45-yard jaunt by number 9, Jalen Benefield. And rather than snapping it to the quarterback, they snapped it to Benefield, and he took it and went.
Yeah, that was just game prep of the Panthers. They went to a Wildcat or a Panther formation and ran a counter. And the 2nd leading rusher out of Pearl Land, Texas, Mr. Benefield, on a 44-yard scamper for the Panthers. Touchdown.
All right, looks like, well, they're having the same situation as TSU. Nobody was out there. They were missing a lineman there. And the kick is up, and the kick is good, and that was Christian Masuki on the kick. So, with 7:31 left in the first quarter, the Panthers scoring 7-6 is the score. Panthers leading. You're listening to OVC Football on ESPN+.
Now everybody smile.
All right, fans, we'd like to welcome you back to the campus of Tennessee State University as the Tigers have gone down by 1 now on a great drive by Eastern Illinois. There's a kickoff, and it's going to be brought out of the end zone. And boy, oh boy, is there a wall on the run back, number 5, Johnson, and finally brought down inside the 40-yard line. Chris Rowland was not back there this time, and I guess what they didn't know is that Johnson is a speedster. He showed it there.
Well, that's the true freshman out of Springfield, Tennessee, getting a chance to show what he can do, and he really made a freshman mistake by bringing it out, but I guess everything will be okay after you go for 65 yards for a outstanding kickoff return, putting the Tigers in plus a field position.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Tigers inside the Panther zone. And there he goes. Chris Rowland on the carry. And they're going to find ways to put the ball in Chris Rowland's hands. Carry the ball down to the 25, pick up a 14 yards and a first down.
Yeah, once again, tight formation. 4 wide receivers bring a receiver in motion across the formation and hand it off to him. A jet sweep with a lead blocker. And the Tigers are really emphasizing the run game.
Passes big tight end, still on his feet. Ball comes loose. And there's Chris Rowland to pounce on it. So the Tigers inside the 20-yard line. Pick up of 7 yards on the play. Fumble by the tight end, number 85, Phillip Brown.
Yep, that's just an extension of the run game for the Tiger with that quick screen.
And there's a tight end pass again and knocked down inside the 5-yard line. Miles Cabot on the carry.
Yeah, everything's coming off play action, and everything's quick with tempo with the Tigers right now, keeping the Panthers off balance. And the Tigers really got some momentum going on the offensive side of the ball.
And there's a quarterback, Rosendahl, and touchdown Big Blue. As Tennessee State University has scored, we might end up having a high-scoring ball game. Both offenses able to move up the field at will.
Well, both defenses were given over 28 points a game. So the thing is that Eastern Illinois is only averaging around 13 points a game. So they're already halfway there. Nevertheless, that's an RPO with Rosendahl on the keep for a touchdown.
All right, Zeta and Rowland are both out there on the field this time. And there's a fake. And Rowland's going to keep it, and it's touchdown. Looks like he made it. And the 2-point conversion worked. Tigers have now gone up by a touchdown, and boy.
Yeah, I think that was improvisation. I think he improvised that because the snap looked good. Everything looked good, but it wasn't a fire call because only one tight end went out in the route. That was just Rowland seeing something as a senior and making a play. You know, speed kills Howard. He got around the corner.
Well, wait a minute. I'm watching Zeta, and I'm trying to check his body language down there on the sideline. And I don't see him jumping and clapping at all. I don't know what happened down there, but Tigers got a 2-point conversion, and now it's a one touchdown game.
Well, Zeta's a sophomore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Chris a senior. Yeah,
okay.
He's not going to do any of that anyway.
Right.
Nevertheless, the Tigers get that point that they missed on the first touchdown and breaks it back to a 7-point ball game. But if you're a Tiger fan right now, you got to be ecstatic by the offense. I mean, you've already outscored what you scored last week against Southeast Missouri. And you're really running the football, whether it's the inside zone. There was an RPO for that touchdown with Cameron keeping it, but also the extension of the run game with the quick passes, the quick screens, and then the jet sweep, has entered into the building. And the Tigers have been really able to gash the Panthers' offense in the first quarter.
Okay, hey, I am looking now. Zeta threw his helmet down.
Oh.
Probably why Roland was not looking. And you might be right. But, that was 4 plays, and it only took 1:34 seconds for the Tigers to get in the end zone. And, of course, on the 2-point conversion, it is now 14-7. And so the first quarter, different from last week, has been full of action and scoring. So the Tigers have come out ready to put points on the board. Also has Eastern Illinois because both teams have scored on their possessions.
Yeah, both teams on the ground.
Yep.
All 3 touchdowns have been on the ground. And so that was the emphasis of both Coach Adam Cushion and Coach Rod Reed. They both want to talk about running the football and stopping the run, and both teams right now on defense are doing neither.
All right, Tigers will be kicking off. Mosley handling those duties. He gets a high kick, kicking into the wind, and it's going to be returned. And there's our defensive back again. Number 32, Donald Hughes. And he's a workhorse.
Yeah, that was interesting because I didn't see a flag on the play, but an up man signaled and brought his hand up, like a fair catch. And that play, usually is stopped. I guess no one saw it. There was actually the up man in front of the guy who actually caught the ball, the receiver who caught the ball, number 32, Dalen Hughes. So luckily the Tigers didn't get hurt by that play because a lot of times that can be popped for a big play.
All right, 1st and 10. Back to pass. And good coverage by Tennessee State. DeJure Nesbitt on the coverage. Woodbury put it out there.
Yeah, the intended receiver was Robbie Lofton II, the redshirt junior out of Lexington, Kentucky.
Looks like they're getting into passing mode, and of course they handed it off. And on the carry, number 24, Deshaun McCullough. He's had a good first quarter.
Yeah, that may be a holding call on that inside receiver. He had a lot of jerseys and didn't let it go. It's going to be an interesting call here. Came from the back judge. Nevertheless, the Panthers are finding success. Yeah, it was a holding on that play. But nevertheless, the Panthers are finding success on the edge of the defense, which has really hampered the Tigers' defense all year by containing those type of plays. And the Panthers have studied up that film and is really attacking the Tigers on the edge.
All right, that's going to pull it back to the 39-yard line, 2nd down. About 7 yards to go for the 1st down. Bad snap. Woodbury still pops it out there. On the reception, Jalen Benefield, and turned it into a pretty good game.
Well, I tell you what, that was an excellent play by the quarterback, Woodbury, to get that pass off. But equally as good was Nick Harper Jr. stopping that play because he was the only guy out there, and that could have gone to the end zone.
Grabbed the foot and held on.
And held on.
All right. Woodbury. And on the carry, Jalen Benefield having a big day. Prior to that carry, he had 48 yards. He's building up to a 100-yard game. They haven't had a 100-yard rusher this year.
Well, Mr. Benefield is more than halfway there. I know he at least has 70 yards in the first quarter. His touchdown run was over 40.
Ball at the 37, the TSU 37. Woodbury back to pass. And it's complete. Out of bounds around the 30-yard line. On the reception, Eric Rooks.
Right now, the Panthers' offense is staying on schedule with that quick pass, getting positive yards, 6 yards on 1st down. That allows them to open up the playbook on 2nd and 3rd down, and they've been moving the ball at will against the Tigers' defense.
6-yard pickup. And looks like the pass is complete for 1st down. On the reception, number 19, Robbie Lofton. They've got tall tight ends. Lofton's 6'3", Rooks 6'3". They've got some weapons out there. 1st down for the Panthers. That's McCullough on the carry. Picks up a couple yards. Host of Tigers on the stop.
Yeah, right now the Panthers are giving the Tigers a lot of window dressing with a lot of motion and a lot of shifting before the snap, and the Tigers are really off balance with late movement, and they're chasing guys, and the Panthers are just going wherever the Tigers just left.
And there goes one in motion. Bad snap again. And ball thrown out of bounds. I've been watching this entire first quarter. Most of the snaps coming to Woodbury are to his left hand. They've been low, they've been high. The center's been struggling out there, and that's Cole Hoover. And he's a redshirt junior, but it's been pretty tough for Woodbury handling those balls.
Yeah, well, Woodbury is a great athlete, the JUCO transfer from Navarro, and he's been playing position back there with the ball because it's been all over the place when it snapped.
There's another low one, and he's in trouble back there. Well, I just wanted you to know, Derek, I've been paying attention.
Oh.
I don't wish a fumble on anybody or a bad snap, but that's just something that's clear. I mean, it's been clear the whole first quarter that he just haven't been able. I don't know if it's the cold weather, but they're from Illinois. It's cold up there where they're from.
Yes, it is.
Richmond, and
we've been up there, actually Charleston, several times.
Yeah. Yes.
And I know it took me a while to defrost, to say the least, but not trying to jinx the Panthers on that last play, but there's been a struggle for the snapping or shotgun snap for the Panthers so far.
There's another low one. Let's see if he caught it in bounds. No, they're going to rule it out of bounds. The intended receiver, Robbie Lawton, got his 6'3" frame up in the air and pulled it down, but was caught out of bounds.
Yeah, if I'm the Tigers defense, I will keep the defense on the field just because you don't need, or was that fourth down? That was first down? What was that? Is that a change of possession there? It looks like that's a change of possession.
It is. You know, they've been going for fourth down almost every game, every time. They're leading the nation in fourth down attempts.
Well, that's a first-year coach trying to get a win.
Yep.
And so you can't blame Coach Cushion for being aggressive and believing in his players. Nevertheless, that was just a long down in distance.
Right.
And it's just like a punt because the Tigers are starting in their own territory.
All right. There's a pass across the middle and over the top, and would have caught the intended receiver in stride, and the intended receiver was Lawrence Legree II, and he would have been in stride on that one.
Well, that's what the run game is doing to the passing game. The Tigers are exclusively into that zone, inside zone option, and the defense is biting on that play action and had Segree wide open in the middle of the field. You just wish the Tigers could make that completion.
And there's the other Rowland on the carry. That is Seth Rowland. Pickup of 7 yards on the play. It's going to be third down and 3. Tigers back up to the line of scrimmage. And there's an interception. And he's got the sideline and still on his feet. Finally brought down. Edwin Brown on the interception, a 6'5", 200-pound redshirt sophomore from Belleville, Illinois. A big interception for the Eastern Illinois Panthers with 49 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, that's why it's only 2 wins between these two teams, right?
Yep.
Bad teams do bad things. And right there, that just a bad play for the Tigers for that play. And the Eastern Illinois defense was Johnny on the spot. And now they have the ball inside of the red zone, and they haven't really been stopped the whole game.
Ball on the 15. There's more motion, another low snap, but touchdown, Eastern Illinois. So the snap didn't hurt them, and Deshaun McCullough has gone across that end zone one more time.
Yeah, well, that's I talked about the window dressing, right, Howard?
Yep.
The motion once again through the Tigers' defense, and they were mesmerized by the motion from one side, and the Panthers went back with a counter inside, basically a jet play inside the tackle, and once he broke the line of scrimmage, there was absolutely no one there. Touchdown, Panthers.
Suchi to attempt the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 41 seconds remaining in this first quarter, the score is tied 14-14. You're watching ESPN OVC Football on ESPN+.
Create at wearetailgatenation.com.
All right, fans, the score is 14-14. We're here at Tennessee State University, the last home game of the season for the Big Blue. They'll be on the road the next 2 weeks. And Eastern Illinois has knotted it up at 14 all. And then again on the return is the speedster for the Big Blue. And that is Darren Johnson, 5'9" freshman out of Springfield, Tennessee. And he looks about as dangerous as Chris Rowland.
Well, the Tigers coaching staff feels like, you know, what they have in the senior class with Rowland and Newbold, they have in the freshman class with Davis and Johnson. They affectionately call him Fat Cat Johnson. So he's the young man that's supposed to be next, and it's good to see him getting an opportunity here in front of his home field. Home folks. I mean, Springfield's not that far from Nashville.
Right. Well, I'd like to hear the story behind the name Fat Cat. He's certainly not fat. 1st and 10 for the Big Blue. And that is Roberson. I think that's Roberson.
Yes.
Roberson on the carry, and he just dug his way 10 yards. That was just a tough run by Roberson. First down for the Tigers. And that had to be a broken play. I know that Rosenthal does not need to be running the football. He was banged up early in the season. There's a injury on the field for Eastern Illinois.
Yeah, that was a bubble screen to Rowland that was sniffed out or snuffed out by the Panthers defense, and Rosendahl decided just to not make a negative play after the interception and just take the loss. Matter of fact, he might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
It looks like he was right there, and fortunately, looks like the athlete for Eastern Illinois is okay. Number 51, Deterius Johnson. Of course, you don't want to see him injured, but Tennessee State probably wouldn't mind if he took a knee on the sideline for a play or two. He's a leading tackler for Eastern Illinois, and also the leading sack and leading the conference in tackles for loss. And he almost got him one there. And I guarantee you he's going to be back on the field. All right, fans. Well, that's the end of the first quarter with the score knotted at 14. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching OVC Football on ESPN+. And there's the Tigers on the carry, and Eastern Illinois snuffed that one out all the way. On the stop, number 3, Cornelius Page, and also number 26, Jordan Jackson.
Yeah, once again, the Tigers jet sweep, handed off to a receiver. That time, the freshman Fat Cat Johnson, but he could not get the edge, and the defense of the Panthers are trying to get a 3 and out. And because they have momentum when it comes to their offense, they are in the first quarter, they had over 110 yards on the ground. So they are licking their chops to get their offense back on the field.
And the Panthers are only playing with 3 down linemen, Derek.
Yeah, they're an odd front, but they bring all kind of slants.
And there they come.
And there's an unblocked man.
Rosendahl throws it away. And, of course, running him down, number 55, Charlie Brooks, freshman out of Flossmoor, Illinois.
Yeah, that's a big 3-and-out for the Panthers on defense. And you got to be excited if you're a Panther fan because, you know, you've struggled with stopping most offenses this year. But coming in the second quarter, straight out of the first quarter, and get a big stop and get your offense back on the field.
There's Mosley with the high kick. Went to the ground, no flag. And ball goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line, not one of his better kicks. Averaging 41 yards a game coming in today.
Well, that was his up man just got pushed back into him.
Right.
And that's probably why the flag wasn't called. But once again, Mosley is real slow with his delivery, with punting the football. And that's probably something that the EIU staff recognized on their film study this week and brought pressure. And it was real close.
It didn't really you didn't see any urgency in that punt either. They were coming, but he finally got it off. But anyway, the ball is at the 23-yard line. And as Eastern Illinois comes onto the field, left tackle Chad Strickland, left guard Alkin Tanilis, center Cole Hoover, right guard Anthony Satansano. I'll try that again. Satasanto, and right tackle Anthony Imperio. Man, they're challenging me here today. At the receiver positions, number 87, Dwayne Cooks. Robbie Lofton, he's been active today. Isaiah Hill, also at the receiver position. We've seen a lot of Eric Rooks, though. Quarterback, Harry Woodbury. And, of course, the running backs, Chris Walker, Jalen Benefield. And they've been very busy out there today. Tennessee State University on the defensive side. Justin Brown at defensive end, Justin Culpepper, defensive tackle, Teray Jones, nose tackle, Dante Ferguson, defensive end, Michael Bond at safety. Our strong backer, middle linebacker, Terry Strouder, Rashawn Epting, Neiman Armstrong, Josh Green, DeJure Nesbitt, and Nick Harper round out the defensive backfield. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Woodbury, the quarterback. He's had a busy day. Tigers tightening up defensively on the stop for the Big Blue. Nick Stricker. I'm sorry. For the Tigers, that will be Teray Jones.
Yeah, that time the Tigers basically had 5 down linemen and pretty much sold out on the run, had one safety in the middle of the field. So the Tigers are aware of how they're getting gashed on the run game and tried to stop it and got a short game on 1st down.
2nd and 8. Great open field tackle by the Big Blue. On the stop for the Tigers, Ronnie Killings.
Yeah. That's a big play for the Tigers. They've really been struggling with the outside runs and containing the Panthers on that play. The motion has also been giving them problems. But that time, the senior, Ronnie Killings, playing free safety, was there to make the stop.
Loss of a yard on the play, 3rd and 11. Woodbury so far 75 yards in the air. Having a good first half. And the pass is incomplete. Intended for Rooks. Another one of those big receivers. 6'3", 195. Redshirt freshman.
Well, we talked about for the Panthers defense getting the 3 and out, and then the defense of the Tigers did the exact same thing. So starting the second quarter, after a 28-point first quarter, both defenses have come out and made stops.
Stone Galloway back to punt, averaging just under 40 yards of punt, kicking against the wind and trying to kick it away from the dangerous returner, and you all see him there. There goes Chris. Touchdown, Tennessee State University. Wow. There's going to be a flag on the play.
Yeah, but I think it's after the play, and that's a freshman mistake. But it was after the play when the flag came out. But let's see what it's called.
They're probably going to call what they did. You know, you played football, right? Did you ever have to? Well, let's see if they're going to pick it up.
Well, I don't know. I saw the pole play after Chris got in for the end zone. I panned back to the back of the field or to the middle of the field, and I saw the action going between two TSU defenders and a Panther.
Yeah.
They got him on the field and
wouldn't let him up.
And wouldn't let him up.
Yeah,
and,
they doubled the gunner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was definitely after the play or after the touchdown, so it's going to be interesting to see will this be marked out on the extra point attempt or marked off on the kickoff, depending on what EIU staff decides to do.
All right, well, Chris Rowland definitely was on the return, on the punt return, and he definitely scored, and there was definitely a penalty called late. And we'll get the indication in just a moment, but they're not moving the extra point team, at least off the field. Here we go.
Yeah,
well, maybe we'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're not going to speculate how we haven't done well doing that this year.
Definitely not me.
Now, I've watched a lot of football, Howard. I don't see how you have individual 15-yard penalties on that particular same play and same action.
Well, that's what it sounded like he said.
Well, that's definitely what he said. They're going to do one 15-yard on the extra point and one 15-yard on the kickoff.
Wow.
So those are 30 yards of penalties in one play. So,
all right, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Tennessee State University leading 21-14. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching OVC Football on ESPN+.
Free hot breakfast. Hampton by Hilton. College football stays here.
All right, fans, we'd like to welcome you back as Tennessee State University, so far, is the last team standing. Tennessee State right now was standing and leading 24-14 with 12-16 remaining in this first half. We still got a lot of football left to go. Chris Rowland on a big punt return. 2 penalties called after the play, and the ball is back on the 25-yard line. Mosley will be kicking off from that point. It's going to give Eastern Illinois good field position. If a return is, yes, there is a return. And the returner's down around the 35-yard line, so I guess it will be no different. And there's going to be a flag called on the play.
Yeah, now this should be on the Panthers, and this is a similar action that caused the Tigers to get 2 penalties, unsportsmanlike, on 2 players on the same action. So it's going, and it looked like it was retaliation from the Panthers because they went after the number 5, Deron Johnson, the freshman from Springfield, and looked like he was targeted on that actual play.
All right, we can't hear him, but we do know by the signal that The penalty is going to go against the Panthers, and similar penalty.
Yep, and it's definitely looked like the Panthers decided to get retaliation on the Tiger because he's been in both of those plays, and that's 45 yards worth of penalties from those two different actions. So,
all right, well, it's 1st and 10 for the Panthers, trailing by a touchdown. Handoff up the middle, pick up a couple yards. And tackle on the play, Tennessee State, number 33, Jeremiah Kane. Woodbury, the quarterback. Back pass. And there's a pass across the middle, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Kirk Pinkston. Couldn't hold on to it. Hit him right in the hands.
Yeah, that's good coverage by the middle backer, Terry Strada, who was stride for stride with that crossing route. The Tigers were in zone defense, and so this is a 3rd and long, something the Panthers haven't been in much today.
3rd and 8. Two of the wide receivers on the right side talking to each other. Sheehan in motion. And there was a pass to the ever-dangerous Deshaun McCullough, but he tripped and fell. It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, well, that's 2 3-and-outs for the Tigers defense, who really struggled with the run game of the Panthers in the first quarter, giving up 100 yards or over 100 yards. That first 2 drives out of the second quarter have been 3-and-outs. So the Tigers defense have made some adjustments, and last time they punted to Chris Rowland, it was a touchdown. So let's see what they do here. Probably kick this one out of bounds, Howard.
Stone Galloway, he tried to kick it from him that time. Galloway's kicking it, trying to kick it away from him, and it's going to go out of bounds short of the midfield. So even though Rowland didn't get a chance to return, he's the reason that the Tigers held the ball in great field position.
And it went out of bounds.
It went out of bounds, yes.
You're
right.
Well, I think he kind of shanked that one.
Yeah,
I don't think he meant to kick it 20 yards. So, nevertheless, when you have a weapon like Rowland, he affects the game in so many different ways. And the Tigers start in plus territory. And let's see if they can continue the run game that was pretty successful in the first quarter.
All right, fans. Well, one thing we do know, Rowland has not caught a pass so far this game. And there's Robeson on the carry, cuts upfield and does a nifty job of running the football. Crosses inside the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 39.
Well, once again, staying with the theme of the day, which is run the football. And they've ran it inside. They've ran it outside. They've thrown bubble screens and jet motions to keep the ball on the ground for the Tigers.
65 yards on the ground for the Big Blue. And it looks like it's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, one thing is noticeable today is that we've watched Tiger football all year, game number 10, and Rosendahl has been with a knee brace since the MTSU game. He doesn't have it on today.
No, he doesn't.
And that's the second or third time he's kept on the option, and so he must be pretty healthy today.
Boy, that play, something happened. Knox lined up on the left side and started moving behind the line of scrimmage, but he never got to a point to block, and it just that play was ugly.
Yeah, that's what happened at the point of attack. You don't win your battle. And the Panthers got penetration on the right side of the Tigers' offensive line, and that play was blown up from the beginning.
All right, Tigers going for it on 4th down. 8:45 remaining in the first half. Rosendahl back to pass. He's got Rowland, and there goes Rowland. Touchdown, Big Blue. Wow.
I mean, when you have a guy like Chris Rowland, who's definitely playing on Sunday somewhere, I mean, you have 4th and 2. You throw a deep post route because you knew you was going to get man-to-man coverage, and it's pitch and catch. I mean, it's just it's quite remarkable how that young man has shattered every receiving record at Tennessee State University, and continues to just make it higher and higher, and probably is going to reach 100 catches in this season. That's a beautiful play. Touchdown, Tigers.
It is, and they're already leading in receptions in the history of TSU. Single season receptions. Zeta in for the extra point. Kick is good.
And that's Chris Rowland again. He bumbled that snap.
Yep, he did.
And he got it back up. Laces out. I mean, what a senior day.
All right, fans, the Tigers have gone up by a score of 27-14 with 8:31 remaining in the first half. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching OVC Football on ESPN+.
Come on, it'll be fun.
University Tigers have gone up by 2 touchdowns in an exciting first half. And we still have 8 minutes, 31 seconds left to go. 28-14 is the score. Mosley with the kickoff. On the return is McCullough, still on his feet, looking for a lane. Finally brought down around the 22-yard line. On the tackle for the Big Blue Tigers, Charlie Davis.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Chris Rowland and these records, okay?
Okay.
Right before EIU takes the ball. You know, he already broke the single-season reception record of 72. Now he has 90. He's less than 50 yards away from single-season receiving yards with well over 1,307 that was held by Golden Tate in 83.
Wow.
So we'll talk a little bit more because there's still more. And we'll let EIU and their offense get started.
And they have gotten started on the carry. Benefield hit hard on the sideline. One of the tacklers for the Big Blue, number 5, Olinga.
Yeah, but Josh Green
put the lick on him.
Was the freshman who finished it with an exclamation point to let him know his presence was felt.
It was a first down, but it was well earned. Benefield, 78 yards so far in this game. Tigers on that one.
Yeah, the Tiger defense is pretty solid. Long as there's no motion or shifting. The Panthers really get an advantage when they send someone in motion and they get the Tigers defense to shift, and they kind of counter what they just left. And let's see if the Panthers get back to that action, because it was very successful in the first quarter.
All right, Woodbury, the quarterback. Lofton in motion, and the ball hits the ground. It's going to be incomplete. Whoa. Maybe I saw a shadow.
Well, they're discussing it now. There was one sign from, and it looked like there was a flag as well, but it looked like one person said incomplete. There was an illegal motion flag on the top side of the field.
All right, they're talking again, but I thought I saw it skip, but that's me, my eyes. Okay.
Well, the Tigers are taking the penalty and making it 2nd and 15. So it's all for naught.
Yes. On the replay, it did show it skipped, but still the penalty is going to move the Panthers back to their own 22-yard line. McCullough on the carry. Pick up a couple yards.
Yeah, once again, the redshirt freshman, Josh Green, who was ejected last game in the first quarter with a targeting penalty. So he's real good and fresh from not playing much the week before on the tackle, making it a 3rd and long for the Panthers.
3rd and 12. Still a lot of motion going on offensively. Woodbury back to pass. Going up to the sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, that was a timing route that was a little bit overthrown. But once again, the Panthers are stymied on offense with a 3-and-out. And that has been the theme in the second quarter as the Panthers who scored 14 points in the first quarter, mainly on the ground, has not been able to find that same success. And where do you think they're going to kick it this time?
I don't know. Galloway has got to be. He's like, oh, my goodness. Rowland standing back around the 34-yard line. Galloway, the punter, is going the other way this time.
Oh, he might have got it.
And he's going to bounce it right to him. And he stopped this time. Good stop and it looks like there's a fumble.
Yeah, but the Tigers have it. Oh, they say the Panthers have it.
Edwin Brown on the tackle. And they do have it, so they finally got their hands on Rowland, and Rowland dropped the ball, and here we go. On number 52, looks like he recovered it, Jason Johnson.
Yeah, that was a big hit. It wasn't the initial contact that caused Rowland to fumble. It was the guy cleaning up, kind of slung him, and Rowland never saw that defender. And those are the ones that really get you. And nevertheless, that's another turnover for the Tigers, and the Panthers are in plus territory.
Great field position, the ball at the 39. Woodbury's got new life now. And there's a flag on the play.
Yep.
And Coach Reed is saying there's no penalty on the sideline, but the flag did fly.
Yeah, well, he's complaining because there was an official right there on the play, and the other official about 10, 15 yards down the field threw his flag, and that really has Coach Reed in a real heated moment, because that guy was 15 to at least 10 yards, okay, away from that play, and he threw a flag, and there was a gentleman who was actually less than 5 yards from the play who didn't throw the flag.
Didn't throw it.
You know, that just makes you just not understand what's going on with that, you know, and Coach Reed is still barking, and he has every right to be upset with that call.
All right, it's going to be 1st and 10. Ball close to the 20. And there's a reverse and a pass. A busted up play that turns into almost a touchdown for Eastern Illinois.
Yeah, that was a reverse handoff throwback special. Well, it almost never got off because the Tigers defenders were in the backfield.
Yep.
So the Tigers are lucky that they didn't score, but the Panthers are also lucky that didn't get blown up. So,
all right, well, what we have now is 1st and goal. And on the carry, Jalen Benefield. Benefield with 80 yards so far in the first half. Lost a few yards on that one.
Yeah, I think he's under 80 now. He's lost 4 on that play. That was a Wildcat, or we're going to call it Panther for the sake of Eastern Illinois, for the direct snap to the running back. That time the Tigers were not fooled.
All right, second down and goal. Ball back around the 8-yard line. There's a handoff and a hard hit by Tennessee State University. Boy, oh boy, Nesbitt came up with a pop. Another loss on the carry. Deshaun McCullough, and he took a hard one.
Yeah, that's a senior. That's a senior just recognizing down the distance and film study. He saw that play, and he never even paid any attention to the receiver he was covering and was in the backfield right away for the big loss.
All right, third down and goal. Ball back at the 13. Pass into the end zone, and it's touchdown, Eastern Illinois. On the reception for the Panthers, James Sheehan. And, wow, 6'3", 220 pounds. They have him listed as a slot back.
Yeah, that's their big play red zone receiver. He's like a halfback slash tight end that moves all over the formation. And that time, the Panthers staff made a formation that threw the Tigers off, ended up letting him have a free release. And, that's just a mistake by the Tigers defense that just did not recognize who was lined up. And you got to pay attention to that.
All right, with the score 28-21, Tennessee State Tigers will be back after these messages. You're looking at ESPN Football on ESPN+. They're getting ready to kick off. There's a kick, and it's a line drive. On the return for the Tigers, Deshaun Davis. And Davis gets it back to around the 31-yard line. Tigers start in pretty good field position. All year Tennessee State has been starting from deep in their territory. And this game, the Tigers have had pretty decent field position.
Well, the difference in the game is the 2 turnovers by the Tigers offense. The interception and the fumble has accounted for all of the points, or 14 points for Eastern Illinois.
There's a new ball on the reception. He dropped the ball. He tried to make one of his little nifty moves, and somebody grabbed hold of the football. He needs to be the one holding it. All right, 3 yards on the play. And there's Rowland on the carry. And there's injury on the field. For the Tigers. On the 36-yard line, the ball will sit on the 36.
Yeah, I'm looking from here. That looks like number 72, Will James, the transfer, the JUCO transfer, and hopefully he's not banged up too bad. Look like he's looking at the right leg of the right tackle.
Well, as we look at the game comparisons, it's what we thought. Total offense for Eastern Illinois, 171 yards. Tennessee State, 174. Tigers with 99 yards in the air. Eastern Illinois, 51. On the ground, Eastern Illinois, 120 yards on the ground and 75 on the ground for the Big Blue. Penalties, 4 penalties by each team, 45 yards for Eastern Illinois. TSU 40. Both teams have 8 first downs and 2 for 7 for Eastern Illinois. On third down, Tennessee State 2 for 6. And it just goes on and on. Total plays, Eastern Illinois 32, the Tigers 30. Average yards, Eastern Illinois 5.3 yards a play. Tennessee State 5.8. Tigers with a third down. First on tackle. 8. But not before Seth Rowland picks up first down.
Yeah, that's the brother, the older brother of Chris Rowland, Seth, who is the power runner for the Tigers with the inside zone once again. And the Tigers are committing to that run game and are finding success in the first half.
Yeah, I never asked Chris and Seth who used to win the fights when they were growing up.
I can tell you who's to win the fight. Yeah, Seth.
Yeah.
You don't mess with Seth.
You don't mess with Seth.
He's one built, little rascal. I tell you, he's strong as an ox.
Wow. Newbold on the reception, and again, the nifty moves, but he stepped out of bounds, and he's going to come up a yard short of the first down.
Well, the side judge and the head linesman are going to hear Rod Reed or Coach Rod Reed's voice for the rest of the week, because he's all over him again, thinking that he didn't step out of bounds. So let's see if they got the first down here.
Roland ran into one of his linemen.
Oh, they need to measure that. That's real close. I wouldn't.
It's behind. I can see. Okay. Derek, I can see. Oh, boy.
Well, he got it that time.
Well, you better hope. Looks like the official is running closer to that marker.
Yeah, he made it.
All righty. I'm joking with Derek that I can see because I usually can't see that well out there, and I have to depend on him.
Man,
that's close.
And Coach Rod Reed is back on the field. Oh man, that's I didn't think it was even worth measuring. I mean, I thought he got a good push of 1 yard.
Well, it's going to be, it's a game of inches, but it appears that he does have it. But we'll see. Yes, sir, he does.
Okay.
All righty.
For the head line judgment's sake, it's a first down.
It's a first down. They probably would have been calling for a review.
I know, because it didn't seem like it was that close of a play, but nevertheless, first down for the Tigers. And you know what that does is kind of slows their offense down because they want to go tempo. So with 1 minute and 44 seconds, the ideal thing for the Tigers is to run this clock down and score and go into the half.
All right, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Big Blue. Keeping it on the ground, Roberson on the carry. And he's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of 2.
If you are the Tigers, you have all 3 of your timeouts. So you're already in tempo, which you've been the whole first half. Right now it's about being smart with the football because the 2 turnovers are the difference in the game.
All right, wide outs to either side. Newbold on the reception, and the line stood up and didn't move because it looked like Eastern Illinois jumped offside, but there's no flag.
Well, they were definitely offside.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
That's not even. Oh, okay. The referees just made the signal That's twice today that it was a.
Oh, there's a flag. There's your guy. Yeah, it's down close to the TSU bench. All right, it's going to be a first and 10. Newbold was the ESPN number 2 play of the game last week, and almost had a catch like that again. Seth Rowland on the reception, and another first down for the Big Blue.
Yeah, that's the younger brother, Chris Rowland, on that catch.
Chris, yes.
Yep,
yes, I get.
but Seth is in the game.
He
so
is.
The Rowland brothers are in the game enjoying senior day here at TSU, which has to be a pretty awesome feeling to have your brother out here and enjoy this experience together. So we wish them well.
All right, the Tigers with their 6'5" receiver out on the field right now. Number 84 lined up to the left. And they go away from him, rolling for the touchdown, and it's touchdown, Big Blue.
Well, that's Stephen Newbold.
Now, there
on that catch. And that's that back shoulder throw that he's made famous here at Tennessee State. And that's a wonderful drive for the Tigers. And this is the first time the Tigers have scored 35 points in a half this year. So the seniors are really trying to go out on a bang.
All right. Well, everybody tell Newbold that I called him Italian dressing. Yeah, he told me at the beginning of the year that call him Italian dressing. There's a story behind that. Zeta with the kick. And it's good. 35-21 is the score, and we've still got a minute 14 seconds. You know, anything can happen in this game so far. Exciting first half. So we were at the seniors' dinner here in Nashville, and our seniors' luncheon here in Nashville, and the kickoff luncheon, and he sat at our table, Chris Newbold, and they had ranch dressing, and they had some type of oil. And he said, do you all have Italian dressing? And I don't know, for some reason, you know, from Miami, Florida, I don't know. It just, knowing Newbold the way I think I know him, Italian dressing just didn't fit. Even the waitress kind of looked at him and Italian dressing, but they went and found him some.
Well, that's all
they
right.
went and found him some.
Well,
so
it was their day to be recognized,
yes.
and we wanted them to enjoy their 4 to 5 years at Tennessee State University, and this is their day again today. And the seniors have come out to play.
Yes, they have.
They are putting on a show on the offensive side of the football. The difference in the game is the 2 turnovers, and they haven't been stopped all game.
No, they haven't. And the score shows it, 35-21. And if this is any indication of what's in store, there's going to be a lot of points scored in the second half. Mosley with the kickoff. And a big stop. Again, on the tackle for the Big Blue Tigers, Charlie Davison. That's his second tackle on special teams.
Yeah, well, it's getting kind of chippy out there, and, after the play activity that really needs to settle down for both teams. With 1 minute and 9 seconds, the Panthers have all 3 of their timeouts. So they have a great opportunity. They get the ball at the beginning of the second half. So let's see what the Panthers put together before the half.
All right. Woodbury, the quarterback, 32 yards passing so far this game. They've done most of theirs on the ground. And
that's not a catch. That's not a catch. I don't believe he caught that football.
Well, nobody's complaining. Coach Reed's not complaining.
Well, Coach Reed needs to call timeout, and because that boy, he did not catch the football.
18 yards on the reception.
And they got the play off.
Woodbury back to pass, and he's in trouble, and he's sacked.
You know, Howard, I played that position, and the first thing I would do if I know I didn't catch it was put it up in the air.
That's right. That's right.
And that definitely didn't look like a clean catch there. It looked like it got on the field, but nevertheless, the Tigers come back with a big sack. And
Dante Ferguson on the sack for the Big Blue.
That's basically a coverage sack. They kept him inside of the pocket. It looked like it was some zone coverage. And the senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, Dante Ferguson Jr. on the play.
All right, looking at the team stats, Eastern Illinois averaging 86 yards a game coming into this game on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And they already have 107 yards.
Well, they had 110 coming out of the first quarter, so now this is dangerous for the Panthers now because they have put themselves in a position where they need to just try to run clock because the Tigers have 2 timeouts, and the Tigers haven't been stopped other than the 2 turnovers. So, as Coach Adam Cushion in his first year from Northwestern really needs to be careful here and make sure that the Tigers have to use a timeout. An incomplete pass here is just definitely not what you want. To give the Tigers the ball with 2 timeouts.
3rd and 20 plus, about 23 yards to go with less than a minute. And their flags on the play.
Yeah, it looked like that's the delay of game. And excuse me, Howard, I'm sitting here looking at that backwards. The Tigers have 3 timeouts. So for the Panthers here, they need to just try to run clock and because you got to kick the ball to rolling. You need to kick it out of bounds so you know the clock's not going to run much there. So this is a very pivotal moment for the young coach, Coach Cushion, in his first year in Charleston to make sure he doesn't make a big mistake here.
All right, ball back to the 26-yard line, and they're listening to you, and they put the ball on the ground.
And there's the timeout by Coach Reed.
Timeout. So that means that Coach Reed has no plans to let the clock run out.
Oh, no. I mean, when you got your offense, he's been waiting all year for the offense to click like this. And on senior day, the seniors are really showing out. I think all touchdowns have been scored by a senior quarterback Rosendahl on a carry, senior running back DeMarco Corbin on a carry, Chris Rowland with 2 touchdowns, a reception and a punt return. Hey, and don't forget about Stephen Newbold on the last one with his patented back shoulder pass. So it's senior day here in Nashville, Tennessee for the TSU Tigers.
Italian dressing. So y'all listening down there in Florida, don't forget Italian dressing.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Cushion, I'm kicking this one over here. I'm telling my punter, listen, I'm about to go down here 40 yards, and you kick it straight to me.
If I was Galloway, I'd just do it anyway if he didn't tell him.
Oh, my goodness, he messed up.
Oh, my goodness. There's Rowland on the keep, and good coverage for Eastern Illinois.
Yes, that is, and that was very dangerous because you could tell that the play was to the left, and Coach Cushion and the EIU staff are talking to the punter right now. Like, what are you doing? He missed that ball and didn't kick it where he was supposed to kick it, but they got away with it. The Tigers have plus territory. Not plus territory on the 47. They get anywhere inside of the 35-yard line. Zeta is in play. So the Tigers are going to try to get points with 2 timeouts left.
All right, 1st down and 10, 30 seconds remaining in this first half. That's right, fans, first half, 35-21, a lot of points scored. There's a screen, and
Lord have mercy.
Boy.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
To Kendrick.
Oh.
Coach has said, come on over here, son.
Well, that play right there was executed to perfection.
It was.
That screen play, he had 4 blockers.
Yep. All right, 2nd and 10. 5 seconds went off the clock. Still good time. Rosendahl back to play pass, and it's complete.
They got to call timeout.
I don't think they are. I think they're going to.
Well,
One more play.
They got to call timeout.
Okay, well, they should have done it a few seconds ago.
Well, they lost a good 7 to 8 seconds. You got to understand there, and this is 2-minute offense, right? If you don't get the first down, which temporarily stops the clock, then you have to stop it yourself.
Yep.
And so you lost 7 seconds there. So now the Tigers probably only have time for 2 plays.
Yep.
And so let's see what they do. They may try to get inside the 30-yard line with this next play and call a timeout and bring Zeta out for the 40-plus yard attempt.
And, of course, Zeta has the wind to his back, and he was sure hoping to get his opportunity.
But you see now, watching the first half, the Tigers have struggled all year to stop beating themselves. And they do little things like drop a couple of passes, drop that screen pass, interceptions, turnover, the plus turnover ratio. They are well behind in that category. And those things right there would make you not have a successful football season.
All right, it's 3rd down, 4 to go, 14 seconds. Rosendahl taking his time because the play clock is not down under 10 yet. There he goes, pressure's on.
Can't take a sack.
And the pass is incomplete.
Well, that was an interesting play call because all 4 of the receivers went deep. Nobody tried to get the 5 yards for the first down or the 10 yards. And looks like the punting team, I really don't understand why the punting team, you got to run a play. You got a timeout. You get 10 yards, your All-American kicker gets a chance to kick with the wind.
Well, you also get them a chance for a return, too, but timeout has been called, so let's see what the discussion is going to be with 9 seconds remaining in the half.
With Mosley's slow release, you don't really want him kicking the ball. I mean, you could run the football here and kill 4 seconds and give them the ball maybe on the 45. They only can run one play in that instance. So don't understand. Yeah, the offense is now putting their helmets back on. Yeah, you got to put your offense back on the field because that kick does nothing but bring in trouble.
Good job, Coach.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
All righty. I tell you, I think, wow. Okay. Derek Fleming, y'all.
I'm just here to call what I see.
That's
Howard.
why he's over there. That's right. Well, the Tigers going back on the field.
Yeah, you just bring in too much risk punting the football there. But this right here gives you an opportunity to still put points on the board. If you get a pass that's 10 yards, 15 yards, you have your your kicker that can make it from 50. So you got to give it a shot.
And you can go to the end zone and take the whole 9 seconds. There he goes. And that was intended for Roland.
Now they calling that incomplete because that does the Tigers a favor. And with 1 second left, if that's a good thrown pass, he might have scored on that.
He might have.
But that ball was thrown high. But this gives Eastern Illinois a chance for I don't know where they're going with the ball. There you go. The ball goes there. A chance to heave it 50 yards. Can Mr. Woodbury get it to the end zone.
Well, I think that was a good call for the Tigers. A good pass would have run the clock out.
Yep.
But didn't. Now they have an opportunity, but it looks like they're going to take a knee.
Well, the umpire just picked the ball up and moved it back just 1 yard. And this half is over.
All righty, fans. So it took a while, but we're finally here at halftime as Tennessee State University leads by a score of 35-21. We're here at halftime at Tennessee State University as the Big Blue Tigers have had a great first half. Matter of fact, as far as both teams are concerned, it's been a good first half for both teams. I mean, looking at the stats as we'll talk about later on in this halftime, you'll see that even Eastern Illinois has outdone themselves in the first half. So if this is any indication of what it's going to be in the second half, we're going to have to sit down and put our seatbelts on and get ready for a heck of a ride.
Well, the question is, will the Tigers play 4 quarters? They haven't put 4 quarters together this year. Eastern Illinois is definitely going to go in and make some adjustments, and their run game is going to keep them close in the game. So let's see what both coaches do going into half.
All right, as the number 1 band in the nation comes onto the field, that's Tennessee State University Aristocrat Bands, who have just announced that they'll be playing in the Rose Bowl Parade next year. We're at halftime, so with the score 35-21, Tennessee State University will be back after halftime festivities. You have been watching OVC Football on ESPN+.
Our athletic director, Miss Teresa Phillips. Coach Phillips from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. She played basketball at Vanderbilt University for 11 years. Coach Phillips was TSU basketball coach to win back-to-back OVC championships in 1993 and 1994. In February of 2003, Coach Phillips, as athletic director, became the first female to coach a Division I men's basketball game. Coach Phillips has served for 17 Lakeland, Beltone, Charlotte, North Carolina, music education. Quincy Mitchell, Clarinette, Lafayette, Georgia, business administration. Devin Pride, percussion, Union City, Georgia, music. We've got Richmond, Horn, Memphis, Tennessee, interdisciplinary studies. Cliche, Rosar, Piccolo, Memphis, Tennessee, agricultural science. Nicholas Sanders, trumpet, Memphis, Tennessee, criminal justice. Jawan Williams, trombone, Union City, Georgia, communication. Justin Woods, clarinet, Memphis, Tennessee, music education. And Rodney Zachary, trumpet, Decatur, Georgia, business administration. Let's get a one more big hand, everybody.
Backcountry LED light kit for under $40. A Herder's 12 megapixel trail camera for under $50. Plus 10% off gift cards.
Sophomores in the stand, make some noise. Where my juniors at? The juniors, where are my seniors? And I mean graduating seniors. If you want your band better than us, let me know. Bring it out. AOB don't need no more press. No. We everywhere. Here's your family.
got moved to the 53-man roster. Tight.
Who was that?
He was a receiver that didn't make the team. Big dude. I don't know where he went to school. He about 6'3", about 210. He was cutting up during preseason, but for whatever reason, he didn't make the roster. They put him on the practice squad. Because right before the season started, the Titans traded away Taywan Taylor. You play receiver here?
Tennessee Tech beating Jacksonville State.
Oh, snap. What was the team like back then?
So my freshman class, the class that won back-to-back.
Okay. But you played some of my chocolate brothers, Abdul.
Yep.
Oh, 3 minutes? 25 seconds. Hey, Nat. They want, are they clear to come back in 12 seconds? Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7. If you're not ready to say something.
Fans, we'd like to welcome you back to the campus of Tennessee State University. When I first talked to you, it was a nice, pretty day. The sun is dropping and is turning into a nice cold day. But what's really hot are both of these ball clubs. Tennessee State leading 35-21. Both of these teams having struggles all through the season. Tennessee State 7-2 or 2-7 on the season. And, of course, Eastern Illinois with no victory so far this year. But both of them are putting up touchdowns and numbers, and it's been an exciting ball game. And, Derek, you know, as you look at them, it's really no different than what they've done every time they played the last 4 or 5 years, is they play tough against each other and they put up points.
Yeah, the first half was pretty exciting for both offenses that found success in the first quarter. Both teams scoring 14 points. The Panthers finding success on the ground game, but over 110 yards in the first half, and the catalyst for that was Mr. Jalen Benefield, who had the first score of the game with a 45-yard touchdown run that got the play started for the Panthers. On the opposite side of the ball, it's been the TSU Tigers seniors. All 5 touchdowns have been scored by seniors, 2 by the sensational senior out of Nolensville, Tennessee, Chris Rowland. His partner in crime, Stephen Newbold, with a touchdown catch, and 2 running touchdowns by DeMarco Corbin and Cameron Rosendahl. So it's going to be interesting to see if both teams can continue the hot offensive output that was in the first half. And let's see what Coach Adam Cushion comes up with out of halftime, and also what Coach Rod Reed will do to counter.
All right. Well, so far, Tennessee State University with 244 yards total offense, and Eastern Illinois with 176. Eastern Illinois with 70 yards passing, Tennessee State 157. Rushing yards, Eastern Illinois 106, Tennessee State 87. And oddly enough, Eastern Illinois, the lowest penalized team in the conference, has 5 penalties for 50 yards. Tennessee State, 4 penalties for 40 yards. And so as we look at the comparisons going down, the passing game is making the big difference for Tennessee State. Eastern Illinois, of course, with only 70 yards, averaging 7.8 yards a catch. Tennessee State with 14 yards a catch. And, of course, that kind of goes well with their 157 yards. And so both of these ball clubs playing definitely above their norm. Well, Tennessee State not necessarily, because Tennessee State's the number 2 team offensively in the conference. So they were right on track to be up around 400 yards a game. But Eastern Illinois absolutely busting their stats so far in the first half, and I'm expecting more.
Yeah, well, the Panthers are going to get the ball in the start of the second half, and let's see if they can get their ground game back rolling. It really got stagnant in the second quarter. They were aided by 2 turnovers, really, which is the difference in the game, because the Tigers' offense never was stopped with any possession. The only time they were stopped, it was due to turnovers. So let's see what the Panthers have put together in the second half, and see if we have an exciting half of football.
Well, they'll be on offense. Whitberry, the quarterback. Looking at the rushing, boy, Benefield with 8 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. McCullough with 7 carries, 52 yards and a touchdown. And they are the leading rushers for Eastern Illinois. In the passing game, Sheehan with 2 catches for 31 yards and a touchdown. Robin Lofton with 2 catches, 28 yards. Benefield with 2 catches just for 1 yard. And Rooks, Hughes, and McCullough also with 1 yard. Okay, Mosley to kick it off for the Big Blue. And back for the Panthers. It's going to be caught in bounds, it appears. And I don't know why he would have done that. That's why Hughes is a defensive back. Because had he not caught the ball, it would have been a penalty, and that ball would have been on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, good.
1st and 10.
Good football teams don't do that, and that's just a mistake. I mean, that's basically 20 yards of field position you just give up by just not paying attention to where you are. Nevertheless, that's a break for the Tigers, and let's see what the Panthers come out and do.
All right, 1st and 10. Woodbury, quarterback. And again, another low snap. And big field in front of him, and on the carry, Deshaun McCullough, and he's starting where he left off with a big run for the Eastern Illinois Panthers, taking the ball all the way up to the 38-yard line, the Panther 38-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 15 yards and a first down.
Yep, well, we talked about it in the first quarter. What started the scoring for the Panthers was the run game, and they went back in halftime and kind of paid attention to that, come out with basically a 20-yard gain.
There's a pass. And it's going to come up short of the first down. Isaiah Hill on the reception. 5'11", 190-pound sophomore, redshirt out of Sherwood, Illinois. So it's going to be second down, 3 yards to go. Ball to 46. And quarterback on the keeper, and boy, does he chew up some yards all the way. They're going to mark his slide down at the 38-yard line. And Woodbury with a big first down inside Tennessee State territory.
Yep, well, the run game is back on the menu for the Panthers.
It looked like a mix-up with the intended receiver and Woodbury. Woodbury threw it to the sideline. Receiver turned inside.
Yeah, at this point in time, you got to ask the Panthers, why even throw it? Right now, you can line up in a formation that is favorable for your run game, and the Tigers are trying to defend the run game with 6 in the box. And once you see that, you just need to run the football.
It's going to be 2nd and 10. Hand off to McCullough, and he's on the move. And he's got the sideline. And it looks like it could be they're not going to mark touchdown. He stepped out of bounds around the 3-yard line. So, again, a big run for Deshaun McCullough. And that's going to put him up close to the 100-yard mark. rushing.
What's amazing about that is that the Panthers came into this game only averaging around 86 yards per game. And they had 100 in the first half. And like I said, Howard, coming out of halftime, if you was the coaching staff of the Panthers, you had to look down and see, hey, if we just run the football, we're getting what we want. And they have gone exclusively to the run game with this first drive. And basically they have 3 runs for over 70 yards right now.
Well, Tantalus, the offensive lineman, injured on the field. Fortunately, he walked off, so let's hope he's going to be okay. First down and goal for the Panthers at the Tigers' 3-yard line. And Tennessee State University calling timeout.
Well, the Panthers, had to be aware that the Tigers struggle from half to half. Even though they came out in the first half and looked awesome, basically on offense, you got to know that the Tigers have struggled to put 4 quarters together. And so you had to be optimistic coming out of the locker room that you just got back to basics, that you had a chance of catching up in this ball game. And so not saying they have caught up yet, but if you have 3 rushes in the second half for over 70 yards, look like you might have found something, Howard.
Yep, well, there was a timeout called by the Big Blue. And they must have seen something. But again, first down and goal, ball on the 3.
And there's that shift, Howard, that's been giving the Tigers their misaligned right now.
And a great sniff out by Epting as he sniffed that one out real quick. Maybe a little too much razzle-dazzle on that one. Too much movement.
Well, the Tigers looked up. Their weak side backer was lost for a second. He went to the outside, to the weak side, and just came on a blitz and found himself way into the play. So that was fortunate for the Tigers.
Deshaun McCullough on the carry. Tried to use a little delay back there to see if a hole would open up. Didn't happen for him. And it's going to be 3rd and 4.
Well, the Tigers have split their band into 2. Look like underclassmen versus underclassmen. But I'm saying that because they're playing while the Panthers' offense is on the field, and that could be a problem.
That could be a penalty.
And there goes that shift, Howard, and they're misaligned right now.
And they hand it off this time, and it's touchdown.
Yeah, I saw it right away, Howard. They didn't shift properly with that, and they haven't all game. That 2 is not a motion, it's a shift because they're not under center. They're moving from weak to strong with two H-backs. And that gave the Tigers problem once again, made them misaligned.
Isaiah Hill on the carry for the touchdown. And the extra point is good. So with 12:01 remaining in the third quarter, the score TSU 35, the Panthers 28. We'll be back with more OVC football. You're listening to and looking at ESPN Plus.
Free hot breakfast. Hampton by Hilton. College football stays here.
Big dreams start with small steps.
Fans, we're back with 12 minutes and 1 second into the second half, and Eastern Illinois has already scored, and the Tigers leading by a touchdown. So we got a lot of football ready to go, and a lot of action that's going to take place. 35-28 is the score, and no telling where this will end. There's a kickoff. Tigers on the return. Run out of bounds on the sideline. Deshaun Davis, the Tigers will take it over. First down and 10 around the 25-yard line.
Yep, well, Coach Cushion and his staff are bouncing around and clapping, and their fans know that they are gaining momentum. They went back to the basics on that first drive. They got cute in the second quarter. They went back to the run game and gashed the Tigers for a 3-minute drive to get right back into this ball game.
First down and 10 for the Tigers. They can't go to sleep on this team. Eastern Illinois hungry for a victory. 0-9 on the season. Hand off to Roberson, and he bulls his way up to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 5.
Well, that time Eastern Illinois had 5 in the box. So right now, both coordinators are looking at how many the defense has in the box. If they see anything less than 7, they're running the football.
Second and 5. As a pass, and it is complete on the reception for the Big Blue. Lawrence Agree, the second, and
well, that right there is got Coach Reed back on the football field. His quarterback took a late dirty shot, and no call was made, and Cameron just jumped up, but that defender took at least 2 steps and made contact with the quarterback, which now in football you cannot do.
Octavius Battle in the game now for the Big Blue. 6'2", 215-pound redshirt freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia. Roberson on the carry. And he stopped 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and going back to that play was so quick, right? It was a quick throw. I mean, it was even a 3-step drop. It was a pull and throw. It's hard to believe that defender got there that quick.
Well, it's going to be 2nd and 12 for the Tigers. Back on their own 42. And there's a fumble. And they're trying to determine whether the back was out of bounds prior to the fumble. McCauley on the carry. The ball was swept back into the line of play. What did they call there?
Well, it was a smart play by the EIU defender. The ball was going out of bounds. He swiped it back into the field of play. It was luckily that the Tigers was able to pounce on it. But once again, fumbling and turning balls over for the Tigers is just their Achilles heel.
All right, 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Ball in midfield. Rosendahl back in the game.
Could be a big stop for the Panthers defense.
Pass is complete. And a 1st down and more as the Deron Johnson on the reception. But Eastern Illinois is going after that football.
Oh, yeah. Just look at the stats. I mean, the Tigers will fumble it and turn it over.
And Johnson on the reception. Great defense by Eastern Illinois on the tackle. Raymond Crittenden. And Johnson loses a yard on the play.
Once again, it's just an extension of the run game for the Tigers. One thing is noticeable is that the Tigers are not using tempo right now. They're speeding it up a little bit now, but they had great success in the first half, getting to the line of scrimmage and snapping the football pretty quick.
Rosendahl knocked out of the game for a play, but he's back in. Ball knocked away by number 93, Ronell Deal. Could be Dale. Sounds better to me.
Well, one thing's for sure, the EIU Panthers have second life.
They do.
On the sideline, the coaches are bouncing around along with the players, and they're trying to gain the momentum in the second half and steal a victory here in Nashville.
All right, 3rd and 11. Tigers. And the ball is caught. And, of course, that's Newbold with the back shoulder catch. And 15 yards, 16 yards on the reception and a first down.
Yeah, those are two seniors hooking up again with that back shoulder throw. Really is no answer for that because you're afraid of the speed of Newbold to get over top. And that ball being underthrown allows him to pull back from the defender and make the catch. Just a difficult play to defend.
DeMarco Corbin on the carry. Picks up 6 yards. And there's an injury on the play. Looks like he's going to be okay. Walking off the field, number 95, Kalen Cole. And he runs off the field, so good for him. They're calling Tigers back on the field now. They had stopped the play for an injury, but TSU is slow to come back. All right. They've wound for the clock now. They've got 30 seconds, so I guess that's enough time to figure it all out. That's Corbin on the carry. He's a big guy. He picks up the first down, boy, and just bulls his way to around the 5-yard line. Corbin 6'1", 230. He's a senior. And it appears that he'll have the first down. He does. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Big Blue just inside the 5-yard line.
Yep, well, the Tigers getting back to the run game as well. Running down the clock and holding on to the football.
There's Corbin on the carry and met hard at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle for Eastern Illinois, Dimitri George, first guy to get there. He's 6'3", 255.
You know Howard knew football, and he's going on the center now. I was just talk about that shotgun snap, needing 3 yards. You snap it back 5, and then you try to get 8.
Corbin again on the carry. And looks like they stopped him right at the line of scrimmage.
Other thing I'm noticing, Howard, is that Chris Rowland hadn't been on the field in the second half. I know he had tweaked the hamstring in practice this week, and with these cool temperatures, he hadn't even attempted to get on the field.
I was actually scanning the sideline to look for him, and I don't see him. Maybe I do.
I
do
see
now.
him, but
yes.
he doesn't look like he's going to play in the football.
No, he doesn't.
This is a big down for the Tigers. They cannot turn the football down here. The field goal is their friend, making it a 2-score possession. Well,
the nose guard for Eastern just picked up the ball and took off running.
Well, that was a real strange play because it looked like they were bringing double-A pressure, and they kind of stepped in the neutral zone, and the center just kind of just stood up, like he thought they had drawn off sides. But
looks like they're going to walk it off against TSU.
But it's against the Tigers.
All right, does that change things? Do they still run it?
Well,
or is this a pass?
Well, it looked like they were in a pass formation, but sometimes you need a little space to let a play develop. They just need to be careful with the football.
And that's an incomplete pass. The defender, Mark Williams, was right there. He might not have known that the ball was coming, but He got between the ball and the receiver. Incomplete pass.
Well, Chris Rowland just limped out on the football field to be the holder.
Wow.
He does not look like his leg is in great shape. So the Tigers need to try to keep everything under wraps.
26-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is good. Zeta with the big kick as the pressure was on, making this a 10-point football game. So fans, with 5:44 remaining in the third quarter, you're watching OVC Football on ESPN+.
And control your goals right from the Chase mobile app. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Fans would like to welcome you back to Nashville, Tennessee on the campus of Tennessee State University. As the sun is dropping, the temperature is too. 5:44 remaining in the third quarter. Tennessee State University has just taken a 10-point lead on the back of a 26-yard field goal by Zeta.
Yeah, that was a drive that produced points, but more importantly, it took 7 minutes off the clock, where Eastern Illinois had come out of second half and scored with 2 minutes and scored in 3 minutes. So the clock is the friend of the Tigers right now. And Howard, you see that? I said something about that earlier in the half. That young man has on the second line of defense before the receivers has been throwing his hand up to every kick. And I thought it might have been a signal or something that he was given other than a fair catch, but he has done that every time.
And he takes off running.
Yeah.
This time they stop it.
So,
and of course that's Dallin Hughes, listed as a defensive back, but he's been playing all over the field today.
Yeah, it's not actually the receiver. It's the up man in front of him that's been throwing up that signal.
So it's not him.
No, it's not him.
He's ready to go. Well, both of these teams are racking up yardage, and it's exciting to watch the ball game, at least from the fan perspective. I'm sure the coaches are struggling. Both teams with almost equal time of possession. Eastern Illinois, 19 minutes. The Tigers, 20 minutes of possession. So, again, a lot equal. The passing game is what really takes it out of sorts, really, in the running game for Eastern Illinois, because Eastern Illinois with 177 yards on the ground, coming in averaging 86 yards. And so that's a big plus for them. Tennessee State, of course, a big passing team anyway, with 206 yards in the air, but that was expected.
Yeah, well, no, Eastern Illinois is known for two famous quarterbacks. Both played in the NFL. Sean Payton, the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and Tony Romo.
Well,
and
don't forget one, Garoppolo.
Then Garoppolo's who's at in San Francisco. So they're used to throwing it around.
Garoppolo, yeah, yeah.
But running the football is not the thing that you think of when you think of the EIU Panthers.
All right, ball on the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Let's see if Whitberg can do something with this offense. He's been doing it all day. There's a pass wide open. Is the receiver Hill. And that is his second catch of the ball game. 1st down.
Well, the big thing for the Tigers defense is they struggle with weak side defense. It's been their Achilles heel all year. People line them up to the wide side of the field and attack their weak side and can find a living there the whole game. And Coach Cushion has figured it out, and now he's exclusively going to the weak side of that defense. And once again, that's thrown to the weak side of the defense with another positive play and possibly a 1st down.
And that's Marcus Ray. Marquise Ray, 6 foot, 170 185-pound freshman from Chicago, Illinois, and we're starting to see new names pop up here. Good defensive play by the Tigers, and that's 7-on-7. The receiver's heel and the defender, Ronnie Killens.
Yeah, now they're getting cute with it now. I mean, exclusively going to trips to one side, most time the wide side of the field, and looking back and figuring out that there's an opportunity on the weak side of the Tigers' defense.
Well, a loss on that play. 3rd and 5. Quarterback on the keeper, and he's close. It's according where the spot is going to be. If he spots it with his left foot, it's going to be another. It is first down. Wow. That was a close one.
Oh, yeah.
1st and 10. Woodbury on the keeper.
Well, at least this time the defense is showing a little resistance in the run game. That first drive was none at all.
On the carry, McCullough fights his way for about a 5-yard gain.
You can do that all day, Howard. 5 yards a carry. You'll take it, won't you?
Yes, I will. I'll be first down every 2 carries. Ball at the Eastern Illinois 43. 2nd down. Woodbury, McCullough in the backfield. Got all day. Now the pressure comes. And it's incomplete, but a flag on the play. Either it's a late flag or that flag just flew through the air a long time.
Well, the flag was there was a collision there, and the flag didn't come out initially. But it's going to be interesting what the call is. It may be something before the ball was thrown. The receiver was on the field.
Call interference. Did they call holding or?
Yeah, it was a holding call.
All right, holding call.
If you're a Tiger fan right now, you got to just shake your head because we talked about it before the end of the first half. Could the Tigers put together 4 quarters? And right now, in the 3rd quarter, the defense is just being shredded by the Panthers. And Coach Cushing has gone in and made an adjustment, and the Tigers' defense is on their heels.
All right, that moves the ball inside TSU territory at the 47. 1st down 10. Good defense by the Big Blue. On the tackle, Straughter.
Yeah, remember that play, Howard, because if he hands that ball off to the guy in motion, he's still running. Yeah, nobody accounted for him once he crossed the center. So let's see what they do. The Tigers are going to have to just try to take away the run game, and they're still in a lot of zone coverage right now, and EIU doesn't want to throw the football. They want to run it.
Benefield in the ball game, replacing McCullough in motion. As pass complete to Lofton. He was gang tackled as he was hard to bring down. Nesbitt had his leg, wouldn't let go.
Well, I believe this is 4-down territory for the Panthers. They're bringing in what they call their big boy package. They brought in both of their H-backs. And if I wonder, is this getting ready to be the shift play that has been giving the Tigers fits? It's been those two who's been on the shift. One of them goes in motion.
There's a handoff to Benefield, and he's got a big hole and still on his feet. Finally tripped up. But not before he picks up a 1st down and more.
Yeah, that formation has been giving the Tigers defense fits. they have no answer for it. And it's really amazing that, the Panthers haven't gone exclusively to that because the Tigers just don't have any answer.
Josh Green on the stop. Ball on the 28. A great pass and catch. And that's Lofton on the reception, I believe. Robbie Lofton. And it's close to a first down, 9 yards on the reception.
It's just pick your poison now. They got the Tigers defense on their heels. Any type of run action is going to make the Tigers come up. And they're going to throw a quick pass. They're not going to allow that interior defensive line to get close to Woodbury. So the Panthers are marching down the field.
Fake to Benefield. Woodbury back to pass. Got a man wide open. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. Wow.
Well, we just talked about it. We just talked about the weak side of the defense of the Tigers and how porous it's been. And once again, the Eastern Illinois coaching staff is just picking that side of the field apart. That was a running back that took a motion and did a fake and just released, and nobody followed him. No man-to-man responsibility, no zone integrity there. And, a 14-point quarter coming out of halftime, and the Panthers are knocking on the door.
And the kick is good. So with 5 seconds left in the third quarter, 38-35 is the score. You're watching OVC Football on ESPN+. All right, fans, that was Benefield on the touchdown catch. We're back here as the game has pulled within 3 points. 38-35 is the score. Tennessee State holding on to a slim 3-point victory as this third quarter is about to end. And I don't know if that's 10 yards.
Yes,
but it is.
Yes, it is.
Onside kick, and Eastern Illinois has it. First down and 10.
Well, I've been looking at that the whole time. When you're on the front line of the kickoff return team, the first thing you must do is make sure they kick the football. You cannot move without the ball being kicked. And those guys have been up there asleep for the whole first half. And I was like, I don't know. It looks like this may be a situation where there's an opportunity, and now the Panthers are on the road.
All right. Woodbury, the quarterback, has his team in great position at their own 46-yard line. First and 10 after that onside kick. And there's Benefield on the carry, and he stopped a yard short of the first down. Right at the 45-yard line. That's the TSU 45. And fans, that's the end of the third quarter with the score: Tennessee State 38, Eastern Illinois 35. You're watching ESPN Football on ESPN+.
But my independent agent and auto owners made sure we were up and running fast. That's what mattered to us.
For whatever lies ahead, we're...
All right, fans, we're back for the fourth and final quarter of this ball game here in Nashville, Tennessee, on the campus of Tennessee State University. Eastern Illinois trailing by 3, but looking to take the lead, if possible, after an onside kick. Successful. And now they've got a very, very big third down.
Yeah, once again, Howard, they had a guy that went to the weak side, that went away from the formation after the ball was handed off, and no Tiger accounted for him. Look out for something, type of misdirection or some type of counterplay that's going to be wide open if the Tigers play it like that again.
And there's the quarterback on the keeper, Woodbury, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down. And I can't even imagine them doing anything but going for it. They have gone for more first downs than any team in the nation.
Well,
and if they're ever going to go for one, this is it.
They scored a 45-yard touchdown on the first 4th down in the first quarter. And this is one of the formations that have given the Tigers fits. Here goes the shift of the 2 tight ends.
And there's the fake handoff. Quarterback back to pass. Has a wide open receiver. And he is run out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Isaiah Hill on the reception and the run.
Howard, I don't know what to say. We kind of knew that formation was coming. And number 7, the receiver, went in motion. And once he crossed the center, nobody accounted for him. And he just went underneath the pass rush and was wide open. Nobody covered him. The middle linebacker, Terry Strada, saw him late, but you can't run with him. So the Panthers have the Tigers on the ropes and going exclusively to misdirection where the Tigers are just totally being undisciplined with their responsibilities.
35 yards on the play and a first down. They're going to mark him out of bounds just shy of the 21. Or the 20-yard line. He's at the 21.
It's almost like now the Tigers need to go exclusively to some man coverages and just be responsible for one man, because right now people are getting lost in their zones and getting lost, period, over in the field. And look like we have a line judge that may be a little bit, or it's the actual line, the chain that is tangled up. The equipment manager for Tennessee State, JT, is out there.
Yeah, I just saw him run across the field. I thought he was getting to go out and talk to the head judge, and I was saying, okay, this is strange. But instead, he's over on the sideline, and they might have to do some repairs over there.
Well, that's the only thing right now that can slow the Panthers down is a chain malfunction. They have the Tigers reeling, and we talked about it before the half. The Tigers have not been a very consistent team from one half to the other. Last week, the first half had less than 50 yards total offense, 19 plays. Second half, they came out and played a little bit better. But right now, they are getting it handed to them in the second half.
All right, they're still working with the chains, making sure it's a 10-yard distance, as they have put one chain, one mark on the 20-yard line, the other one down to the 10, and make sure that adjustment is a true 10 yards. That would be something else if we end up with chain gate here in this ball game. It looks like it's going to be a close finish.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Tigers need anything right now to slow down this Panthers offense.
All right, 1st and 10. They've got the chain taken care of. Ball at the 21. And the microphone is acting up. As a pass, and it's complete, just snatched out of the air by the receiver. And all of a sudden, the passing game is just cranking for Eastern Illinois. That's Benefield on the reception, and he's limping off the field.
Yeah, what a game for Benefield. He's been all over the field and a weapon for the Panthers on offense. He's been in the run game. He's run Wildcat. Just no answer for Benefield today from the Tigers.
He's got 87 yards in the air prior to that catch. 1st down and goal as the ball is inside the 10-yard line. Woodbury, quarterback. He's got time. He throws, and it's complete. But not before they pick up about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, that was a cat and mouse game with the defensive coordinator of Tennessee State, Coach Fisher, and the offensive coordinator for East Illinois. He had a check with me. He wanted to see what the Tigers defense was showing early in the snap count, and he had an adjustment and got a 4-yard play.
That was on Sheehan on the reception, 2nd and goal.
And here goes that formation, Howard. The 2 tight end set. They're not going to shift this time.
And McCullough on the carry, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Tigers playing tough inside. A host of tacklers.
Well, this right here, let's see what down the ball is in the middle of the field. And they have their favorite formation out there, or position groupings out there with the 2 tight end set. Their go-to guy in the red zone is number 86, Sheehan. And he's the guy that the Tigers need to pinpoint and make sure they know where he is, because he's their red zone threat.
Woodbury back to pass. Got a man in the back of the end zone. And it's touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
And guess who it is, Howard?
Number 86, Sheehan.
That was him. They had the matchup they wanted. That the Tigers got caught with a linebacker trying to cover him, number 56, Justin Brown, and that's just no match. He cannot cover him, and he ran that arrow route to the back of the end zone. Good high throw in the red zone. You don't want to throw that ball low. You want to throw it high, so only your receiver can get it. What a good catch, got 1 foot in. And the Panthers have come out of halftime with 21 points to take the lead against the Tigers on Senior Day.
Suchi with the kick to take them a point forward, and it's good. So with 10-17 remaining in this ball game, the Panthers have taken the lead 42-38. You're watching OVC Football on ESPN+. Fans would like to welcome you back as we've got a barn burner, 10-17 remaining in this ball game. Eastern Illinois has just gone up by 4 points. 42-38 is the score. The Tigers have the hand team in there, and if they kick it away, they won't be blockers, that's for sure. And it's going to come down at around the 13, and he's going to be brought down at the 20. That's the only problem about this time of the game. It's hard to make a return when you don't have blockers in there.
Yep. Well, the Tigers has just been, you can just say it, they just haven't been out-coached this second half. They came out in the second half just flat, thinking the game was over with. And we talked about the adjustments that the Panthers should look at doing was getting back into the run game. And the Tigers have just come out like the game was over with, and they've been outscored 21-3 in this second half.
All right, Rosendahl in the ball game. No Chris Rowland. Appears that he's injured. There's a pass to Roberson, and he's brought down. Good tackle on the play by Cornelius Page, one of the top defenders back in that defensive backfield. 2 yards on the play, 2nd and 8. Rosendahl back to pass, and it's incomplete. Went right through the hands of Roberson. And he's...
Yeah, that's not Roberson. That's Al-Malik Moore.
Al-Malik Moore.
Yeah, they're just with the drop, and that's just not a good that's an inopportune moment to drop a football. You need to hold on to this football, because if you give it back to the Panthers, you could quite possibly be down double digits when you get it back.
The ball was right in his hands. Would have been a big first down catch for the Tigers. Rosendahl back to pass, and it's incomplete. That was the attempted screen. But you can't fool them twice. First time the screen was dropped by Roberson. This time they were all over it.
Yeah, well, if you're a Tiger fan now, you're in the danger zone. With 9 minutes and 32 seconds left on Senior Day here in Nashville, Tennessee, in William J. Hale Stadium, you had a 14-point lead, and it has disappeared. And you're getting your defense, who's been out there on the second half, the whole half, back on the field, and you cannot be excited about that.
Mosley with the boomer, and it's going to come down at the 32-yard line. That is the Eastern Illinois 32-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eastern Illinois Panthers, and the Tigers need a big defensive play or defensive stand right now, or it might be trouble. The momentum has definitely switched. Eastern Illinois with 385 yards total offense, 179 in the air, 206 yards on the ground. Is this the game that they've been waiting for? 0-9 on the season. They've been close in majority of their games. They've lost a few just by a field goal, and the fact is that they've always felt that they had this team that was right on the cusp of a big win, and of course Tennessee State could be a big win, but there are 9 minutes 25 seconds remaining in this ball game, and there's a lot of time for both teams.
Yeah, well, if the Tigers need to have a 3-and-out here to give their offense a chance to get the ball back and try to get something going here. They've only had 2 drives in the second half. EIU has us possessed the ball, getting the ball from the second half from the start, scoring there in 3 minutes. Tigers coming back with a 7-minute drive to get 3 points. East Illinois comes right back with a touchdown and then gets the onside kick, which may be the difference in the game, comes right back and scores again. And the other thing is that East Illinois has not turned over the football. They've played a clean game. So if you look at the stat sheet, they should be winning right now.
And another telltale story, and they were equal in time of possession, but now Eastern Illinois 29 minutes opposed to TSU's 21. All right, 1st and 10 for Eastern Illinois. Harry Woodbury, the quarterback, having a big night. Ball at the 32-yard line. Woodbury back to pass is complete. And Hill on the reception, and he's still on his feet. Finally run out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, yeah, they've been setting that play up all day. They see the Tigers once again in soft zone coverage. Run the wide receiver screen, and guy makes one miss. And that is pretty much a 50-yard play on first down, and the Panthers are rolling.
All right, ball on the 28-yard line. Woodbury, quarterback. They passed the 400-yard mark now in total offense. 219 yards in the air.
Well, that was an illegal formation for Eastern Illinois, and it didn't get called. I was sitting there looking, and they had five men in the backfield. If that guy goes in motion, then that means this guy down here has to be on the line of scrimmage. But nevertheless, it's an incomplete pass for the Tigers.
Dwayne Cooks, the intended receiver, a ball well overthrown. 2nd down, 10 for the Panthers, leading 42-38.
So let's see if he motions to and that time they're good. Tight end on the weak side. The weak side has been where the Panthers have attacked pretty much all second half.
Woodbury on the handoff. And Benefield stopped in the backfield.
Well, that time East Illinois got a little cute. They went front side to the Trips side of the field with the run. They've been finding their hay going away from the Trip side and attacking the Tigers' weak side's defense. So let's see, do they head back to the boundary here? This is 3rd and long, and let's see if they try to get into field goal position.
Lost 3 on the play. Really 4. And there's going to be a flag. No, it's not. They say the ball's overthrown, definitely contact, but they're saying that the ball was not catchable. Had to be, because it was certainly contact.
Yeah, that ball was a bit high, and that wasn't smart by the senior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Ronnie Killings, getting away with one there. That ball was definitely questionable if it was catchable or not, but the Tigers will take it. That's a 4th down, and what will EIU elect to do? Do they have a field goal kicker?
They have a field goal kicker. He's in the ball game right now, and but you have to watch for anything with EIU. That'll be a 50-yard field goal attempt.
The win.
Masucci.
Oh, yeah. That's a pooch kick.
He punted it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to put it out of bounds.
Still walking it up.
Still walking. 14-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Blue at the 14, trailing by 4 points.
Well, the Tigers are without their leading receiver, Chris Rowland, in the second half.
All right. 42-38 is the score. You're watching OVC Football on ESPN.
Easily set, track, and control your goals right in the Chase mobile app.
All right, fans, 7:35 remaining in this ball game. Tigers take it 1st and 10 on their own 14-yard line, trailing by 4 points. They've led this entire ball game, but Eastern Illinois snatched the lead. Rosendahl back to pass. He's in trouble. Ball knocked away. And it is recovered by the Panthers. Wow. Number 3, Kanias Page on the recovery. And it's going to be 1st down and goal for Eastern Illinois at the 9-yard line.
Yep, well, that's the story of the game, and that's the difference in the game. The Tigers could have blew the game out in the first half, but 2 turnovers equated for 14 points, giving the Panthers 21 points in the first half. Now here comes another turnover. Rosendahl's holding the ball too long, and now the Panthers are here for the knockout blow.
All right, Panthers 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Harry Woodbury, the quarterback, having his biggest night. Benefield on the carry. Touchdown, Panthers. Jalen Benefield on the carry for the touchdown, 9 yards. And the Panthers go ahead by a score of 48-38 with the field goal, with the extra point ensuing.
Yeah, what an explosion and what a adjustment by Coach Cushing and his staff to come out in the second half with a team, and they believed and they were knowing that the Tigers just don't play 4 quarters of football. And if you watch the film and kind of knew what the Tigers would do, it's the tale of both the 2 halves, and they just jumped out in the second half and just took control of this game right away.
Masucci,
and now the Tigers are in trouble.
Masucci with the kick. And the kick is good. 49-38 is the score. Tennessee State University falling behind by 11 points with 7:21 remaining in this ball game. And Eastern Illinois is celebrating on that sideline, and you can't help, they can't help but to be excited. They have not won a game this year, but they have been close on many occasions. And they're trying their best to make sure that the Tigers don't take this one away from them.
Well, 7 minutes. The Tigers need to just try to get some points on the boards with this drive. And they had to take a timeout early in the second half. So they only have 2 timeouts. So it can't be a long, sustained drive here. It needs to be a quick strike. And your playmaker is not on the field any longer right now with Chris Rowland. So they're going to have to figure out a way to try to pull this one out on Senior Day.
All right. Tennessee State lining up to receive. Johnson deep along with Davis. And a good return by Johnson as he crosses the 35 up to the 37-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They're going to mark him down at the 36.
Well, you still can run your offense. The problem with the Tigers on that last drive is they tried to go exclusively to the pass, and they're just not built that way. So they got most of their success with play-action pass from the zone option read. So let's see if they get back to that.
Rosendahl at quarterback. Again without Rowland, but he has Nubo. And the ball was intended for the other Rowland. Couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, right now the Tigers on offense just need a positive play. That's the second consecutive drop pass by a receiver, one by Al Malik, now by the backfield. Out of the backfield is Seth Rowland with a drop, and they just need something positive right now.
All right, 2nd down and 10. And that'll be a quarterback sack by number 97, Jim Varga. 6'3", 240-pound freshman from Elk Grove Village, Illinois.
Well, the Tigers are
a loss of 3 yards on the play.
Well, the Tigers are off schedule now, so they have to throw the football. So this is getting dangerous for the Tigers offense. They got to figure out a way to stay on the field here. This could be the ball game.
Third down. And another quarterback sack, number 55, Charlie Brooks. And the Tigers just falling apart, and the defense doing a fine job of covering the intended receivers. Nowhere to go but backwards. Ball on the 29-yard line. That's the TSU 29-yard line. Mosley in the punt.
Yeah, well, the Tigers got off schedule with not running the football and tried to toss it around, and they had a drop on 1st down. It could have been positive yardage. They didn't get it. And, man, they cannot sit back there and protect Rosendahl right now. And the Tigers are going to have to try to figure out a way to get a 3 and out.
All right, they're going to mark the ball out of bounds at the Eastern Illinois 29-yard line. 5:27 remaining in this ball game. 49-38 is the score. Eastern Illinois has turned this game around. 429 total yards on the night for Eastern Illinois. 219 in the air, 210 on the ground. These are the stats that they've been waiting for this entire season, and it's happening here tonight here in Nashville, Tennessee, against the Big Blue Tigers. Tigers with only 97 yards on the ground, 209 in the air. Hand off to McCullough. There he goes. And he could go all the way, but he's run down by Nesbitt, I believe. DeJure Nesbitt put the Rockets on and ran him down, but not before getting into TSU territory, 35-yard line, a 31-yard pickup, and a 1st down.
Well, they went back to the run game, and that has really just put this game into the Panthers' pocket. Running the football, the Tigers have no answer for the run game.
There's a fumble. Looks like it's
that's
going
an incomplete pass. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, when you toss it forward like that, that's an incomplete pass. So that's why that's a safe play.
All right.
Yeah. So, but that does stop the clock for the Tigers, which the Tigers need.
Yes, Eastern Illinois has been the darling of the OVC for many years. 11 playoff appearances in their history, the most of any OVC team. Struggling this year, 0-9. That could come to an end today. And that pass was overthrown. It's going to be third down.
Well, back-to-back passes for the Panthers, which stops the clock, which helps the Tigers try to stay and keep a glimmer of hope in this ball game with 4 minutes and 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. This is a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10, and it's interesting to see if the Tigers can stop them. They got to use a timeout. They got to preserve all the clock they can preserve because this game has gotten out of hand.
And off to Benefield, and he spins his way to the 30-yard line, 5 yards short of the first down, and you know they're going for it.
Well, if I'm the Tigers, I got to call timeout. I need the time is not my friend, and you can't let them sit there and run 20-plus when now it's 25 seconds. I mean, they're going to just stand here and just run this clock down. You got to use your timeout here to try to give yourself a chance.
Well, I guess Eastern Illinois is going to give them a chance.
Well, they're going to snap it inside of 10.
And there's a complete pass and a first down for Eastern Illinois on the reception. Sheehan, he's having a big second half.
Well, he was the guy to watch. And now TSU uses a timeout. And
Sheehan with 5 catches, 46 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And if I'm not mistaken, both his touchdowns came in the second half.
Well, he was a player to watch for us. We knew that he moved all over the field. It seemed like the Tigers understood that in the first half. They look like they lost him in the shuffle in the second half, and he has made them pay by having that 2 tight end set. That shift and not recognizing where he is, he's been a weapon in the second half.
McCullough has now rushed the ball for 144 yards and 16 carries, and Benefield is just 4 yards shy of a 100-yard game. Prior to coming in this ball game, they had not had a 100-yard game rushing the entire team, averaging 86 yards a carry.
Well, they saw
a game.
Well, they saw something on film, and they went back to it. The first quarter, they executed properly, got away from it, came out of the locker room in the second half, and just crushed the Tigers' defense.
All right, first down and 10. And now they're going to just run that football and run that clock. Tennessee State, 2 timeouts remaining.
No, they used the timeout.
Oh, the clock's showing.
Yeah, the clock is showing 2, but they only have 1.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I remember my dad would say, somebody's clearing their throats. Because this game may be over, buddy.
And they'll let the clock just run. And second down, 6 yards. Benefield on the carry, and he gets his 100 yards and a first down. Well, let's see where they mark him.
look like they got him a yard short.
Well, he definitely got his 100 yards, 13 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, big night for him. So yard short, 3rd down and a yard. Benefield and McCullough both having the best game of their season tonight. Quarterback keeper. And it might be short.
Well, if it's a first down, it is a ball game, and congratulations to Coach Adam Cushing with the Eastern Illinois Panthers for his first win as coach, his first year as he arrived in Charleston this year. He's a assistant from Northwestern that's trying to bring back that winning tradition in Eastern Illinois, or in Charleston, Illinois, with Eastern Illinois, and his team played inspired today, and they were the better team. They deserved to win.
Well, they're going to mark it short of the first down, and of course they do have an option, field goal or to go for it. And I don't see the field. Well, I see the field goal kicker. I don't know if he's going to be called upon at this point. They have 485 yards total offense, and this could be their final offensive play. The field goal kicker looks like he's warming up. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Christian Masucci. And
well, if they have 485 total yards, that means they have well over 300 yards in the second half. Because at halftime they had less than 200 yards. I think they had 174. So doing simple math, 310 yards in the second half.
Well, they're going for it.
And here's that formation that's been given the Tigers.
Well, there it is, McCullough. First down. And he tried to get loose but couldn't as he was brought down. Looks like can't see the number there.
Well, that formation right there,
Strawberry,
is what changed the game. When they went to that 2 tight end set with a wing back, the Tigers never accounted or lined up properly against it, and they went exclusively to that when they needed a positive play. They scored touchdowns off of it. I can think of 2 or 3 touchdowns from that particular formation. And the Tigers have just they never figured it out.
All right, it's going to be first down and goal. And they're going to take a knee. And nothing the Tiger, well, they do have one more timeout.
Well, that's ball game, Howard.
Yep. There's no sense in stopping it. Well, fans, this has been the night for Eastern Illinois as they get their first victory of the season and also their first OVC victory, and they're doing it in high fashion.
Yeah, congratulations to the Panthers of Eastern Illinois that came out in the second half and wanted to win a football game. They came out bouncing around. They knew they had a chance, and they executed properly. And once again, congratulations to Coach Adam Cushing with his first win at Eastern Illinois.
Every phase of the game working for him. And Newbold's onto the field. He must have some buddies out there. I think he does. And, he's just a good guy, man. And I wish him the best in his future. He's got a couple more games to go. Seth Rowland, of course, Chris Rowland had to put it down in the second half. But let's not forget the fact that Eastern Illinois, 49-38 is the score, has won their first game of the season. And it's a big night for Eastern Illinois. And they deserved it. They played hard. They never gave up. And they found a way to win this ball game. Tennessee State could not stop them in the second half. And that's just the way it goes for the Big Blue. Tough season for the Tigers. All right, fans, well, as we look at this ball game and look at how it turned in the first half, Derek, Tennessee State University pretty much owned it in the first quarter, but you could see the Tigers slipping. In the second quarter, you could see them slipping. As a matter of fact, you didn't just see it. I mean, the score indicated that Eastern was just getting going, and the Tigers just could not put the offense together or the defense together in the second half to stop this train from rolling. And that train rolled up 490 yards, 225 in the air, 265 on the ground, which is amazing for their team, averaging 86 yards a game on the ground, to Tennessee State's 306 total yards, 209 in the air, 97 on the ground.
Yeah, well, you look at the stat sheet, you know who should have won the game, and you look at the scoreboard, and that team won. Eastern Illinois played a clean ball game. They didn't turn the football over. Came in leading the conference in penalties, not the lowest penalized team in the OVC, and they just played a clean game. They came out and executed the game plan, and congratulations to EIU.
All right, fans. Well, the score again, Eastern Illinois 49, Tennessee State University 38. And that pretty much tells the story, fans, as Eastern Illinois and the crowd on the other side of the field just having a big night. Tennessee State just kind of shaking their head, wondering what in the heck happened. Well, what happened was Eastern Illinois. And fans, we've been happy to bring this game to you, Derek. It's been great broadcasting on the podcast with you. This is our last podcast for the season as the Tigers go on the road for the next 2 ball games. And so even though the season didn't turn out the way we loved it to, the Tigers also making history, not winning a game in the hole in this season.
Yeah, well, there's not much to be said about this team other than they played themselves the whole season and beat themselves the whole season. And that's really disappointing with a team that had over 20 seniors who were recognized before the game. And that's not how you want to go out in the home stadium. But, when you beat yourselves, you play undisciplined, and you don't do the things that need to happen to be a successful program, this is what happened, 2 victories.
All right, so fan, that's it in Nashville, Tennessee with the score. Eastern Illinois 49, Tennessee State University 38. You've been listening to OVC Football on ESPN+.